Okay, we are starting chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about a lot of graphing. First thing we're going to talk about is slope as the rate of change. Now, in Algebra 1, you know slope as part of the slope-intercept form, and you should know the slope formula. So let's go over that real quick. Slope is known as m, okay? And we're looking at how the line moves between 2 points. So we're looking at movement with slope, okay? So in the case of slope, we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? And remember, x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2 are the coordinates that you're given. So keep this in mind, we're going to be using this a lot today, okay? Now, you're going to work with scatter plots some more. So we need to graph our scatter plot, make sure we label our axes and our graph now. We're getting more complicated with these, to find our average rate of change at this point, okay? So here we have weight loss over time, okay? So time is on the left, so it's my x, okay? And my weight goes on the side, okay? Now, I have 7 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And I'm going from 240 to 250 here. So it's a small increment. So what I want to do is I want to put those little double lines there to say, hey, I'm skipping a bunch of numbers, okay? But my increment's there, all right? So I'm going to start at 240. And I'm going to go up by 1, but I'm going to skip, oops, 242, there we go, 244, 246, 240, oh wait, 240, yeah, okay, 241, 42, 44, 46, 248, there we go, and 250. Okay, so week 1, it's 250 pounds, okay? So week 1, 250, okay? Week 2 is 248. Week 3 is 246. Week 4 is 245. Didn't do so well on that one. Okay, week 5 is 244. Okay, week 6 is 241. And finally, week 7 is 240. Okay? So there's my scatter plot. Now, the title of this graph would be what? Well, how about weight loss over time? Okay, so there's my full scatter plot. You're going to have to start doing these a lot better now, okay? Now, when we're talking about a rate of change, we're looking at how do we move on this graph, okay? Normally we would do slope, but as you can see, we don't have exactly a straight line here. But we can find the average rate of change through looking at how to make these work out, okay? So now, let's look at that. Let's take the points from week 1 and week 4, okay? So week 1 to week 4, we're looking at 1, 250 for a coordinate, and 4, 245. Now, here comes the interesting part. We're no longer going to use slope formula as in x and y, okay? We're now going to use it in terms of delta, okay? So delta is when we're actually looking at rate of change, all right? So instead of having the m, well, we do have the m, okay? We're going to have m, but instead of writing out our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we're now going to change this to delta y over delta x. What does that mean? It means y2 minus y1. Delta means you're taking the difference between two things, okay? In this case, it's shortening it, saying we're taking the difference of the y here. And for the delta x, we're taking the difference of the x. No real big deal. It's just changing notation, okay? Don't freak out. All right, now, if I plug my information in, okay? I don't care which one you do as x1, y1. So there's x1, y1, x2, y2, okay? So y2 is 245, that goes first, minus our 250, okay, over our x2, which is 4, and our x1, which is 1, okay? So we do this math. So this is negative 5 over 3, okay? That is our average rate of change. Average rate of change between week 1 and week 4 is negative 5/3. Okay? Full sentence answers again, guys. You got to keep those going. Okay? So there's how we deal with the new notation of deltas. All right? Nothing different in the slope formula. It's still y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. But now we're dealing it with delta notation. Okay? So, the next thing. Looking at our graph, is it rising or is it falling? Well, it's falling because it's going down to the right instead of going up to the right, which would be raising, okay? So rising. So instead of rising, it's falling, okay? So keep those in mind too, because you're going to be asked these kinds of questions in the classwork that you're going to be looking at. Is a graph rising? Is it falling? What is its average rate of change? Okay? These are the things to think about, all right? Come in with questions. We can go over a few more examples if you need to, and we'll be getting right into Unit 2 now. So, good luck.